we get started now. A little early. How you guys doing? Welcome to Rant and Chill. Rant and Chill, man. It's been a while since I did a Rant and Chill stream. Gonna be a lot of fun. Talking about furries. The connection between furries and Hollywood. Why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? I still was on my mind for a while. I was like, man, what is it? You know, why? How did furries boom? How did they become a thing? How did it explode so much? And being the product of the 90s, I thought maybe it was like cartoons from the 80s and 90s. After all, furries had a huge boom in the 90s. But looks like it's a little bit more complicated than that. And we're going to get into that. Now, one thing I'll just get out of the way here. What I'm talking about is media influence of ideas. Like being exposed. The media, when I say media, I'm talking about Hollywood. It's specifically, well, not just American, okay? Because we're going to talk about media coming from Japan and coming from other places maybe. But exposure to media can influence ideas. Now, as far as encourage behavior, like as far as like, you know, the argument of like, does violent media lead to violent behavior? You know, that's been studied before. And for the most part, it's seen as no, it doesn't really lead to real life violence. Like there's no correlation between that. Just about everyone has played Grand Theft Auto. Everyone has played Call of Duty and played Grand Theft Auto, but not everyone is going out there running over hookers with a car. You know, not everyone out there is running around trying to knife people like you would do in a Call of Duty. So, no. But we are talking about, obviously, media influencing ideas. And that's something you can see. You can just look around the current environment and know, yeah, most definitely it does. I mean, that's how memes get around too. You know, ideas, propaganda, all that stuff. So the big question here, is Hollywood involved? Is Hollywood involved in the, I guess, programming and you know, with the propaganda of spreading furries? And Chauncey, that is an opinion that you can have. That is fine. How you guys doing? Hopefully you enjoy. Yeah. So one thing I want to say. Oh, I guess I got all that out of the way. So since furries, pretty much, I mean, most furries for the most part are in North America. We're gonna be looking at the relation between Hollywood and people that are exposed to it, all that. Now, one other question is, are there foreign influences? Are there foreign influences that are some way responsible for the rise of furrydom? Well, I mean, is there some sort of sinister plot to pump furry propaganda onto the American populace? I don't know, to like distract, keep us busy, maybe to subvert somehow? Or is it just a coincidence? Was the rise of furries somehow something? I mean, is it sinister or is it something simple? Well, we'll see. I mean, maybe there's some people that have an idea that somehow the tribe is involved. I'll just go ahead and say it. The Jews, that Israel's involved. Oh, is that really the case? Now, some people may read anti-Semitism, whatever. I mean, this is not that. I'm a lover, not a hater. But I think the question is worth exploring. It's no coincidence that a claim by the head of the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles, Jay Sanderson, who was quoted saying, I have this here, there is no country that has a stronger relationship with Hollywood than Israel. That's no mistake. That's no coincidence. Okay. So being that Israel has a strong connection, and you don't need any convincing of that, with Hollywood, are they somehow behind this? Were they putting in furry propaganda into the cartoons for some reason? Why were they doing that? Was it really them? What's going on there? Warner Brothers I mean, they were founded by I mean, the Warner Brothers themselves were Jewish. Were they part of the plan? Some people have that. Some people have that idea. I don't know. There's some surveys I looked at, and some of, for the most part, a lot of furries will cite Disney as the trigger. Disney as the influence. And the thing about Walt Disney is that he was a anti-Semite. It was pretty much a joke. It became pretty much known that he was. So being that they would say often, at least a lot of furries would say, reference Disney as being the reason why they got the idea and they really wanted to explore furries, and they also reference, in particular, Robin Hood, 1973, I believe, 1973, Robin Hood, which the producer and director of that was a German, okay, not a Jew or whatever. So the company, it's I guess I wouldn't say well referenced, but it's referenced as a star, as an influence. Not Jewish, I don't know. So on that one, I'm not so sure. I'm not so sure if it's a Jewish influence. I'm not so sure if it's that. At least not the origin anyway. Not what kickstarted it. I mean, we're going to get into the origin of how, like, the furrydom became a thing. And Hollywood is definitely influencing it now. Most definitely. It did in the 80s, did in the 90s. Okay? But there's something else going on here. You know? Is China involved? Is China trying to subvert America? Are the Russians involved? Are the Saudis involved? The Saudi princes involved somehow? I mean, Saudi prince money's coming into Hollywood. They love that blood money. They'll take that blood money without asking any questions. Even after that reporter died, or was murdered, Jamal, what's his name? Jamal something with a K. You know what I'm talking about. He was murdered. And I remember them saying, oh, we're not going to take that blood money. But they took it anyway. Of course they're going to take it. They're going to take that money. They're going to take the money. It's all grift. Hollywood propaganda. Hollywood propaganda. Chauncey Fatsack, anime. Well. It actually, that's it, really. Man, cat out of the bag there. Way to spoil the surprise. It actually does boil down to anime. Really, if you want to blame anyone, okay? If you want to blame anyone for I guess, influence of furrydom or whatever, it's Japan. I mean, I love Japan for a lot of reasons. And I like anime. I like manga. I like, obviously, you see this channel, I like J-Metal. I like that stuff. But Japan, like, oh, we'll get into that, okay? Yeah. What started this all? It wasn't Hollywood. It wasn't even Hollywood. It wasn't even cartoons. It was comics. It was comic books. What started furries was comic books. Not just any comic books, but like underground. You had mainstream comic books that are pumping out. You got Howard the Duck from Marvel. You have some various titles from DC. You have some indie comics, some underground comics. It was a whole thing. Comics with an X would end with. There was no comic code authority, whatever, in place. So you could do whatever. You go to a small indie publisher, man, you could publish whatever you want. In the underground comic scene, they were notorious. They had like a lot of violence, sex, and drugs, all that stuff. And there was a particular influence of what they called funny animals. Funny animals. This is like about late 1950s, early 1960s, got funny animals. And one of the more popular comic strips of that was a thing called Fritz the Cat. Fritz the Cat, which Fritz the Cat was illustrated, was created by a Palestinian American who was Jewish. So for those who want to go the Jewish conspiracy, there's that, okay? But I don't think that's a thing, really. I mean, dude, we're talking about an indie comic, not majorly produced, not really funded. You know, the guy drew it in his basement or whatever, in his kitchen. Okay, so they drew this stuff. Fritz the Cat, and the reason I'm talking about this is because Fritz the Cat was the one that this comic strip was made into an animated movie. It was rated X. It was like the first animated movie, I think the first movie in general to be rated X like that. And you can actually find this movie on YouTube. You can find it. It has tits, it has nipples, it has ass, and all the characters are anthropomorphic. They are animals. They are animals that are, move around like humans, whatever. They're anthropomorphic animals, okay? So, and there's sex, drugs, violence in it. Like I said, you can watch it for yourself. I'm not going to show it here. I mean, I'm glad that's on YouTube still, so that way you can sample it. You can see what it's like, and it's crazy stuff. There's a scene where they're all smoking weed out of pipes, and then behind them smoking weed, there's like an orgy going on in like a bathtub. And I say orgy, I mean, there's like two ladies, there's Fritz the Cat, and all these other animals are jumping in. It's like, what is going on here? This is like bestiality. What the hell is going on, man? But whatever. But this is before furries, though. Like, furries weren't a thing yet. They weren't a name yet. But that's about to change. So, I know we're going into history. You probably know this. You probably watched Down the Rabbit Hole thing too. Maybe as well. But like I said, when people reference what cartoon was, I guess, the one that started all, the kick-started all, some will say Disney's Robin Hood. But others will say, and I think this is more accurate, I had to write this one down because I've never seen this in my life, Kimba the White Lion. Kimba the White Lion. It was a manga in the 1950s. Became a TV show in Japan in 1965. Was brought over to the U.S. in 1966. Kimba the White Lion. Now, I think I have some more work I can show you there of that. You see it, you'd be like, yeah, I think I've seen that before. I think I've seen furries embrace that before. That looks like very furry-ish to me. Let me pull that on the screen here. So yeah, how you guys doing, by the way? You guys doing okay? You doing all right? All right. Well, I thought I had... Oh, here we go. Kimbo. So you had Kimba the White Lion. A lot of people will reference this. And another cartoon called... oh, man. The name escapes me right now. Hold on. I think like Watershed Down or something. The one with rabbits. I don't know. That one's crazy. But I'm thinking more Kimba, really. But, what have you there. Anyway. Sean, the Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny to blame, and Felix. Oh, most definitely. Oh, yeah. I mean, they definitely had a huge influence. And now, of course, right now we're talking about what kickstarted, like the origin. Like, if you can go back in time and change one thing, remove one person, you could possibly have stopped furries from becoming a thing. You could have probably stopped it. All right. So we talked about funny animals and Fritz the Cat. We got to talk about. Well, after funny animals and Fritz the Cat, there was this. It's like a zine sort of thing. It's a magazine. These artists could get together, they draw, and they publish the work called Zooty. Okay, and in that it was animals only, like no humans. They wanted no humans in the little comic strips. And this is part about the whole mentality, right? The no humans, so only animals, only animal anthropomorphic things. Let's see if I have that here. Zooty. This thing right here. So, all right. I think that's enough backdrop here. I think I did just throw this guy here on the screen. Mark Merlino. Mark Merlino. If you could go back in time and take out one person to stop furries from ever becoming a thing, it would be this guy. This guy right here. But what I just said might actually be a hate crime because I think he might be gay. So he's protected. You can't do that. But this guy in the 70s, he started he started sharing anime. Oh my god. He started sharing anime at conventions. That's how it starts. He started sharing anime at conventions. He would go to conventions in the 80s and share anime. Not just anime. Japanese animation and anything else he could find kind of from over there. He made connections and networks with from people in Japan who wanted in return, in exchange of, tapes and bootlegs of Japanese animation, they wanted like American TV shows. Look at that. I guess we all have our weird little interests, right? They wanted I Love Lucy, and he wanted some anime. And he also was a fan of funny animals, the comic strip stuff, and he created he created an organization where artists could get together to share anime and share their little animal cartoons. A cartoon fantasy organization. And this right here, this guy, he put this together. And it's that cartoon fantasy organization thing that really put legs on the furry movement. Really pushed it out there. Because it was an open call to anyone. Anyone could contribute. It wasn't like, oh, you had to be a good artist. If you could draw, you're in it. Like Chris Chan could have submitted his work and it would have been fine. Okay? And in this, there was no rules. Like anything could be published, anything could be put out there. You had these various zines that have anamorphic characters, whatever, in sexual ways. They weren't all sexual, but it got there, as it usually does. There was a convention he went to, I think 1985, called the WesternCon, where Mark and his buddy, his life partner, Rod O'Reilly. Oh, look, Irish. It's the fucking Irish, man. It's the Japanese. It's the Irish. It's whatever Mark Merlino is. Italian? Sounds Italian. I don't know. What is that? Look at that, man. They got together. They're like, we're gonna subvert America with furry propaganda. I have this idea. But in 1985, they were in a hotel room party. That happens at conventions. I've been to a few conventions, anime conventions. I know what goes on there. It's deplorable stuff. But it was in the hotel room where they were sharing this show called Animal Olympics. I've never seen it. You've probably seen images of it. I could show it on the screen. It's kind of weird. It's apparently from Japan. I don't know. It's not anime. It's this. I guess it's from Japan. I don't know much about Animal Olympics. Whatever. But watching this, they decided they came up with the word fuzzies to describe themselves. But fuzzies quickly became furries. They became furries. And because of the booming internet, I'll say booming internet. It was around this time they had like text-based, you might know them as MUDs, multi-user dungeons. They were getting really esoteric here. I don't know if any of you guys ever used one of those things before. Like the text-based role-playing games on the computer. Well, they had a variation of that for furries. The rise of that, people getting connected online, joining groups, esoteric, very niche people joining together into animal stuff, animal cartoons, especially kinky animal cartoons. That let it grow. And your very first convention, full-fledged not anime convention, but furry convention, was created by this Mark Merlino guy. He's it. He's the the one that started it all. I really know my furry history. I know my history. I did a lot of research for this. I did a lot of research. More than I care to, but I did it. There's that. Because see, looking into this, I thought the same thing. I was like, you know what? You know what started furries? Or you know what's causing furries? It's Hollywood. You know, Hollywood is it. But we're going into the origin. Because, of course, in the 80s, you had Looney Tunes. And of course, in the 90s, you had... Well, there's more stuff in the 80s, too. But in the 90s, you had... Oh, man, all those cartoons. Bucky O'Hare, Tiny Toons. You know, good stuff. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All right. Disney. Any sort of Disney show. Any sort of Disney cartoon show. The Rescue Rangers. Tailspin. DuckTales. Come on. And the way they would portray the female characters, you know, they made them in a certain way. Be honest. Look, I'm not a furry, but I'm going to be honest. I've been honest before about this. You guys know. We could just do Space Jam. You saw Space Jam. You saw Lola the Bunny. When you were a kid and you saw it, you're probably like, oh, yeah, she's kind of cute. What was that? Was it were they just trying to make, oh yeah, this character looks cute for Bugs Bunny or whatever? This is name Bugs, right? Yeah, Bugs Bunny. So, you know, we're just make it look cute, or is it we're gonna make her look cute, and it's gonna program the kids to want to become degenerate, degenerate furry wearing butt fuckers? Is it that? Because let me tell you something. Knowing the history of this, you actually learn how fast it went from being a simple furry convention with good intentions to becoming a homo gangbang. It took three conventions. Yeah, I think it was 3 conventions where it quickly devolved into, no, actually 4, because they called the first one Fur Conference 0 was the first one. Okay. Then it was 1 and 2 and 3. But on the third one, the third time, or I guess the fourth time they put together their little conference, that's when it quickly devolved into people literally deep-throating each other in a hotel lobby. This was... That's crazy. That's insane right there. What? I'm going to show you that. I'm talking about conference number 3. It was in the 1990s, 1992. Okay, so the first convention, I think the first official convention was, what was it, I think, not 1985. I thought I had that date down. Oh, I'll just get it right here. One moment. Conference 0. That was 1989. So from 1989. All right. By the way, I hope you're having a great day. Okay. I hope you guys are having a good time. Just relaxing, okay? Yeah. So 1992. So it didn't take long at all to devolve devolve into where it's like grand sexual acts and gross sexual acts taking place in the hotel in the lobby. Not just that. This fur conference number 3, apparently it disturbed the hotel management so much they wrote a letter to the Mark Merlino guy, telling him like what's going on here. Like, we were cool with this furry stuff, but what is going on? I think you're in charge of this. We saw 2 furry guys throat fucking each other in the hotel lobby. Then someone goes lean on a wall in a furry suit and then is disgusted because they're finding out their leg is wet with jizz. So people have been, I guess, jerking off and, you know, jizzing all over the wall. And then in one room, there's literally a furry auction being taken place. A furry auction where it's pretty much prostitution, where they sell like a furry will put themselves on stage, and for so much money they'll do some, you know, whatever you want, you know, whatever it was. Okay, crazy stuff. It did not take long at all, but that's not really surprising. I want to show you something. Let me show you the promotional material, the flyer that was used to advertise conference number 3. I know we're still in history mode right here. This, I should have gave you a warning. Let's enhance it. Okay, this was their ad. This was their flyer. You see this? What do you think is going to happen at that conference? What do you think is going to happen there? What do you think is going to happen at that convention? I can tell you. You already know. There's going to be a lot of butt fucking. It's going to be butt fuck city up there. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. So, yeah. Not surprising. Not surprising. It quickly just becomes pornographic. It quickly becomes hypersexual. So, I mean, you'll see stuff in the furry community. You'll see some people be like, oh, we disavow like the hypersexual stuff. It's not about the sex stuff. No, man, I looked into the history. It seems like it's always been about the sex stuff. Even the comics, like the animal, the funny animal cartoons, the cartoon strips that the people consumed were heavily influenced by when Mark Merlino came up with furries and the idea of get people together and do like furry stuff. He was influenced by all those comics he read. Like, you know, I already talked about that Fritz the Cat and all that stuff. So yeah, let me echo what I said before in the beginning, and you guys know this. While media exposure may not lead to particular behavior necessarily, it will influence ideas. So bring this back to present day. Obviously, Hollywood in the 80s and 90s with their television shows, like particularly cartoon shows. I don't know if it was intentional or not. I'm thinking it is. I'm thinking it's intentional because they saw what was happening with the conference. They had to have been aware of what's happening. But the furry fandom, it exploded in the 90s. And I think it's a combination because of the rising internet and then the cartoons in the 80s. There you go. Of course, I mean, there's surveys that they'll tell you the same thing. They have a whole website dedicated to like fur science. It's heavily biased, of course. And I mean, if you go there, it's science done by furries. So you take everything you read with a grain of salt. But on that, they did a study. It's like 1,000 plus furries. They asked questions about like, what was your influence? Why did you want to become a furry? And the top reason was internet. I think the second to top reason was cartoons. So internet was the number one reason how like people became curious about becoming a furry. Of course, this study was done in 2011, so you have DeviantArt. DeviantArt would be a thing by then, and DeviantArt doesn't help. You have DeviantArt, you got YouTube. Stand up to own the A-logs. I'm good with that stuff. I'm not gonna really talk. Look, it was fun in games until it went too far. Okay, it went too far. The doc stuff went too far, and yeah, that's it. I know a lot of you guys are here for that, but it just went too far. And you call it an L, call it what you will. I'll gladly take that, because the other night, like it's last night, I was explaining to my wife who these particular people are, and I was like, if someone messages you, okay. Well, all of our stuff is like private like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. Dead man as hostages tied up. I probably have a 5X's audience if we do more chat interaction. I can stand up for you guys. Here we go. I'll stand up. So I'm not paralyzed. Not today. Energetic. Now, so obvious there is a connection between Hollywood and the cartoons and the furry community. As it is that more and more anthropomorphic movies are released, you see the furry community get all crazy about it, and they embrace that. Look, you can even take it back to like in the 90s, like even with video games, like Sonic the Hedgehog. Once again, Japan. Sonic the Hedgehog was taken and adapted into the furry community, whether Sonic wanted it or not. Thank you, Japan. That was sarcasm. Mr. Deadman, will you ever do a punt the gunt challenge? I need to. I'm growing a gunt. And no lie, today, the button to my pants popped the fuck off. And I thought, Jesus Christ, help me. Because I got a bag of Wendy's in my hand, and my fat fucking gunt just popped off the button to my pants. and it's like, oh, I'm gonna eat this burger. I can't help myself. It was a trash burger. I couldn't help. Sonic was subverted by the Asperger's community. And thank you, by the community. See, once again, the reason we went to the origins of this, the history, it wasn't just animal comics. It was animal comics, and then you had the internet coming about. You had anime coming in. In the particular anime, they would have like characters that have like animal traits, maybe some cat ears and stuff. Later on, you would have hentai with cat ear stuff, So, in that combined with people getting online, forming their little social circles, or whatever, they would enable each other. They would form like a hug box, a support community. And even as the furry community was growing, as the conventions were growing, there was pushback against the hypersexual stuff. I believe they called them burned furs. Okay, furries that feel like they're burned from the hypersexualization and see how gross and degenerate their community has become, and also burned in the sense that if they speak out about it, people like Axel, whatever, will go after them and own them for an irony or whatever. But it's like, no, like you need to speak out. They tried, and they blamed Mark Merlino. They blamed him for how degenerate it became and how fast it became degenerate. Because on the third conference, or conference number 3, because it's Furries, and conference 3, the guy pretty much gave a free ticket, free invite to anyone who was a member of their like online community. So imagine that. Imagine today, anyone who's a member of Kiwi Farms gets an invite to someplace. You're gonna get autists and all over the place. It'll be horrible. Try to do a real life internet meetup. It doesn't seem like a good idea. So that's what this guy did. You combine that with furries. You combine that with that stuff. Of course, it led to people engaging in sexual acts right in the open. But moving back to another present time, China and Israel are not off the hook. China heavily funds Hollywood. China actually owns a lot of Disney. Like the Disney resorts, Disney doesn't actually own majority of their own stuff. You look into it, China owns most of it. It's weird. It's like, what, you just sold out. You just literally sold out for what? For the China money? China doesn't give two shits about you. China doesn't even care about your movies the way you think they do. China will tell you, we don't want Taiwan in the movie. Take it out. Taiwan doesn't exist. Or they'll say, we don't like that gay character. Can you get rid of that gay character? And if you want to appease China, you're going to have to do that, China will say, hey, that black boy, that black man on the Star Wars poster, we don't like that. And you're going to have to appease them. So China's not off the hook. They influence Hollywood. But you know who's influencing apparently I found this out through my little research. So, Sing 2, anthropomorphic movie, right? It's getting funded from Saudi Arabian money, like Saudi prince money. It's like, now we're talking China money's blood money, because it comes with, you get the China money, and then you also get you get the help of Uyghur slaves or whatever. Sorry, they're I guess it's voluntary labor, and happy fun camps. Okay. The Saudi money, that's funny. Wait, Hollywood wants to be woke. They really want to be woke. I don't know, man. I'm like, why is Saudi Arabia funding like stuff that's gonna be like Sing 2 is probably gonna have some woke stuff in it. It's gonna have some stuff. It's probably gonna have some like, I wouldn't be surprised if Sing 2 doesn't have like probably two male like deer characters like kissing, or maybe two tigers kissing or whatever, in a very hands-on way. Just watch. It's gonna have that stuff. China loves gay characters in America, just not China. That's the thing. Big Dad Giga Chad, that's the thing. They want to fund it here. They want to fund it, so we pump it out. But China doesn't want those sissy boys. And China will outright say, we don't want any sissy boys in our movies. So, is China actively trying to subvert? Most definitely. China's doing that. Now, what about Israel? Israel's not off the hook. Israel fund, dude. Everyone knows Israel funds. The only people who question that are people who are like, "Oh, that's anti-Semitic." But it's like, dude, like, I'm not a Nazi here, okay? I'm just saying that, dude, they have a lot of influence, and you know that. Like, it shouldn't be that you just point out it's the truth. Just acknowledge the truth, okay? Now, but there's a conspiracy that they are purposely doing that. You know, the idea is what they're purposely putting LGBTQ stuff and then, you know, trying to, like, I guess, put that out there to, I guess, triple us, to bring us down. I mean, that's what I get from the people who explain it. Help me out, chat. Maybe I got it wrong, because my thing on that is that, well, at the same time, Israel's pretty pro LGBTQ as well. Israel itself is pretty woke. So maybe they're doing it to fulfill some sort of prophecy. I don't know. Maybe the Saudi priests are doing it to fulfill some sort of prophecy. Maybe they think it's a joke. Maybe they're just laughing. Maybe, I don't know. They want to see America become, implode, and they're just laughing at it. Because I don't know if they're getting in return on their investments. Or they probably don't even care. Like the Saudi priests themselves, like, dude, I don't know anything about them personally, obviously, right? But I wouldn't put it past them to have like sex orgies and a line of women, a line of whores, just to wash their balls like every hour on the hour, probably 2 times an hour, every 30 minutes, washing their balls. Because why not? Like, if I was a Saudi prince, that's exactly how I'd run. I mean, you probably would too. I mean, you're the fucking king over there. You are the king. What you say goes. Oh, yeah, I'm Muslim, but you know what? The Quran says I can have my balls washed by a concubine. So these concubines will come up and wash my balls. How about that? You know, I don't know. So yeah, China's not off the hook. Israel's not off the hook. They're definitely influencing us, or they're definitely influencing, I think, the furry stuff. And you're seeing more furry stuff in our media now. They had a documentary on furries. Oh, what was that music too jazzy in the background? They had what was I gonna say? Yeah, they had a documentary on furries. You know, they're having new shows on Netflix about furries and in a positive light. It's like, okay, all right. And of course, and then you get furries involved in like social media, let's say on Twitter, you know. You can't talk bad about furries on Twitter. It's bullying. And what's messed up about that is the furries that really do messed up crap, that are like zoophiles and whatever. They use that as a shield. Discord's pretty much ran by troons and furries. Yay. Amazing. In a way, the furries won, is what I'm saying. The furries won. They're everywhere. Look, even those in the furry community that didn't like the hypersexualized furries, they couldn't fight. They couldn't win their war. They failed. The burned furries, what they call them, they tried. They tried to cast out the sexual degenerates like Axel, but they couldn't. They couldn't put them back into the darkness, back into the maggots, back with the maggots. They couldn't do that. No. It just took over. It just took over and consumed. Because for some reason, I don't know what it is, but it seems like outright sexual degeneracy, it just grows. It just grows, man. It spreads like a plague. Like, I'm thinking, like, I think with the furry community, like in a furry convention, whatever, when that stuff happens, I think the reason why it grows so fast is because of the fursuits. Because of that, hey, you know, I'm not me. I'm just a totally different person. I'm Bubblegum Paws, whatever, Bubblegum Wolf, whatever, you know, whatever the name is, okay? Bubblegum Sparkles, okay? It's amazing. It's amazing. Guys, do you think we lost here? You think it's over? Furries won? A bucket of chicken and ball wash. That's right. Devin streams always turn sexualized. And every stream, you know, when I start a stream, like, I'm not going to cuss. I'm not going to say fuck. And I'm not going to reference butt fucking or any sort of sexual act. But I smile because I know that's impossible. The other day, my kids were watching they watch some YouTube stuff. I watch what they watch. I make sure they're watching appropriate stuff. I haven't seen grown-ass men playing, like, you know, they're playing Minecraft or playing, like, Baldi's Basics. But they do it all the time. And they're talking about nothing but the game, I guess. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, how do they do that? I don't know. Furries have been in control of society since ancient Egypt. Damn. I gotta think about that one. Since ancient Egypt. Yeah. Yeah, they really liked cats. They really liked that, you know, they had the Sphinx. Yeah. They were into some animal stuff, and not just ancient Egypt. But what is it with, like, even like Greek mythology? You got these people that have like animal traits to them. Like, what's going on with that? You got what the hell is that thing called? What do you call the name escapes me right now. What do you call that mythological creature? I believe it's Greek or origin. It's a goat. It's pretty much a goat. It's a goat man. It's pretty much a goat man. Like, what is that, man? Come on. Furries have been around forever. They've dominated. They dominate culture. Look, when our society collapses, when America collapses, what's gonna remain and people are gonna get, it's gonna be the furry stuff, man. The furry art, since there's so much of it, and it's everywhere, it dominates in everything. That's the first thing, you know, the aliens are gonna see when they come down to this, I guess, the charred rock that is Earth in the future. They see the remains of furry art. Like, Jesus Christ, what are they doing? Like, this planet was inhabited by giant tiger and wolf creatures that were like playing sword fights with their cocks. You know, like, man, that's crazy. Yeah, satyr. Yeah. Godzilla. Yeah, best dead man. Oh, you're funny. What about the Minotaur origin story? Yes, Minotaur. Yeah. But they made him look cool. It made it sound cool. Like, oh, this Minotaur creature is going to come get you. Going to kill you. The Freemasons were just a club of furries? No way. Man. The influence. So maybe it's not Hollywood influencing us, but it's it's deeper than that. We've been influenced by like storytelling. I guess like back in the ancient days of oral tradition storytelling, be like, oh yeah, there's a Minotaur in that cave, or there's a goat man, a satyr who plays like a little flute thing or whatever. And even in those myths, those Greek myths, and they had like weird shit going on, you know, like the animals and humans and messed up stuff. Okay. Man. Damn it. So, last thing we could talk about, so we talked about the influence, pretty much established that it's pretty much there, and there's no real question about it. How much of a danger do furries pose on society? Are furries really dangerous or kind of dangerous are not any more dangerous than any other group. I'll be fair here. Every group has its, issues, problematic, individuals. Like, not every gamer is a school shooter, but some are. Okay? I played Doom, never shot up a school. I don't think so anyway. But in the Columbine kids, they listened to Rammstein and Marilyn Manson and played Doom and made levels of their school in Doom, apparently, and they shot up a school. I did all of those things. I made levels of my school in Duke 3D. Really cool, by the way. But, I even wore a trench coat, but never, So there's people in the community that will do bad things. They'll be exposed to the same stuff. Like, there's people who watch cartoons and they don't become furries. There's people who like anime, they don't become furries. And there's people that do become furries. Maybe they think it's cute to say meow when they answer the phone. Meow. Or wear cat ears, cat tail, whatever. You see those hot chicks with the bunny ears, cat ears. You've probably seen them on this particular channel on the Men of Culture streams, which I do recommend if you are into that. But there's other people who get exposed to it and they take it the extra mile. And I don't know, it's because they have no real social skills. They don't know how to behave in public. They think it's fine just to whip your dick out or something. I don't know. Like, what is the reason why some people could become a furry and be fine for the most part? So they're weird. They put on a little suit. They make little cat sounds or wolf sounds, but they don't mess with animals. They don't mess with kids. They claim to disavow that, and there's some furries that do. What separates them from the ones that go, you know what? I'm gonna wear the suit. I'm gonna meow. I'm gonna wolf, and I'm gonna fuck a dead deer. And some goats. Don't clip that out. Jesus Christ. What separates that? Everyone is fine with bunny ears. No one ever says that's weird. Yeah, but bunny ears is fine. Bunny ears, there are certain things that are just kind of, yeah, okay, it's fine. Besides, really, what that is with the bunny ears thing, you got some hot chicks that are just doing that. It's like, okay, they're being cute, whatever. They're being goofy, being funny. Yeah, it's funny. They're trying to entertain. They're trying to entertain the men, So yeah, let them. What about cat boys? Cat boys are a problem. Cat boys are a huge problem. Yeah, the Rent and Jill stuff will be on this particular channel. And the therapy, I'm probably going to do the therapy streams on the other one, obviously. I got a plan for Guntwave and the therapy streams kind of to combine them to be more constructive, I suppose. Not just ridicule the Gunt, but be constructive with it. But that's the other thing. All right. So I asked some questions. Let me take a look at the chat. My mouse wheel is not working. Okay. The fawns. The Minotaur's human mother wore a cow costume and freaked a bull. Yeah, that's right. Jesus Christ, man. Jesus Christ. She flicked a bull. Why do the anime girls have cat ears now, Mr. Devin? I don't know. Your streams are already too short. Don't combine them. Ridicule Mercia more? Could do that. Could do that. Oh, Shaylin wants to call. Now, if Shaylin calls, we're gonna have an example of a furry going too far, and we could talk about the furries that go too far if they're a danger. I think, you know, the furry community has a huge problem. I mean, we kind of, by going over the history, we kind of showed that it doesn't take long for even, like, I guess, good intentioned furries to become degenerate. We also, the content, the media that kind of influenced furries was already from the get-go sexualized. So it seemed to be a very sexual thing right from the beginning. Okay. She said she's going to need a minute. She'll call in. And we're going to talk about a very specific case. Okay. Talk about a specific case of what happens when someone who's exposed to too much furry stuff. Okay. I think that's what it is. You know, some people can play Call of Duty all day, Halo all day, Doom all day, and never do anything violent. Other people, they do that, and you know they can't help themselves. They have to start shooting. Okay, apparently. So nobody important. Yeah. Jalen has mastered the female voice. Yeah, when I joined Jalen's Discord server, she sent me her dick pic, so it was impressive. Well, I don't want to name names. I don't want to make fun. I don't want to be too mean. But we are going to talk about a particular case, okay? And while we're waiting for that, there are other particular cases. I mean, dude, it is not uncommon to find news articles where at a furry convention, they busted them for like pedo acts. They bust them for literally fucking animals at a furry convention. They literally busted them for having kids there and molesting kids. You know, they busted furries before for having pedo content or on hand. You know, it's messed up. And even the furry community knows it's bad. Referencing back to the Fur Science thing, it's a real website. I can link it to you if you want to drop it in the chat. Fur Science is real. Okay? They have all these studies done by furries. But it's funny how the study about depression, they did a study on depression, be like, look, furries are no more depressed than anybody else. But you go to any other study anywhere else, be like, furries are depressed. Furries have a higher level of depression and anxiety, and you know, they low self-esteem, which makes sense. Makes a lot of sense. All right, I'll wait for the call. All right, we'll play this. I do need to get I guess new background music. I usually go for the Castlevania. That's a given. Self-harm furries. Yep, self-harm furries. X-Files. Yep. Everyone is depressed. Oh yeah, just about everyone is depressed. But some people are more depressed than others. Some people are so depressed, they're willing to deep throat a shotgun, you know? I mean, I've been depressed before, but never that depressed. I used to work at a call center, and I hated that job. I had the morning shift. Going at 6, get out at like 2 or 3. Yeah. It's great because you have the afternoon, the rest of the day for yourself, but you have to wake up so freaking early. I hated that. I hated that so much. Anyway, it's Rule 34, dead man. Yeah, everything becomes sexualized. Yeah, everything does become sexualized. That's true. I think I'm gonna go out there and say I think the furries, the rate that becomes sexualized, I think the furries have it. The furries anime community, they're pretty pretty fast at sexualizing things. Though, you know what? Maybe it's the gaming community too. Maybe it's the internet in particular. Okay. Because it doesn't take long. You know, a game can launch, a brand new game, and there's maybe a character in that game that's like not really in the trailer, and they become, you know, you get rule 34 stuff with them like next day. You know, let me answer this. Hello, Shaylin.
Hey, Dead Man. Sorry, I'm kind of isolated right now to talk to you, so I'm gonna mute off and on. But yeah, nice to see you.
Okay, that's good. All right, so Shaylin's here to talk about a particular case of what happens when you are exposed to too much furry stuff. Okay, and just to preface this, I'm not a bully. Yeah, I'll be constructive about this. I'll try to look at this from a neutral position, okay? Because I do believe in therapy now. I'm turning a new leaf. All right. Now, you also sent some screenshots. Are you there?
Yeah. They're I sent you some screenshots. They're all the screenshots that were available, I think, when you were kind of still active and lurking around doing the same things I was doing, looking for, you know, furries and such. So yeah, I sent you some screenshots. Yeah.
Okay.
So,
now I'm going to take a look at these. Now these screenshots, are they censored? Like, am I going to need to be warned? Are there going to be penises?
To be fair, I know the context of them. I remember seeing them. I don't think there's anything explicit in them.
Well, the second screenshot, I see what looks like a wolf dick. It's a cartoon wolf dick. I don't know if YouTube would allow that. YouTube will allow. There's have you ever heard of Fritz the cat?
No, I haven't.
It's an old like 70s cartoon. You should check it out. It's pretty wild. But they allow that on YouTube, and it has has nudity, has vagina, has all stuff.
Yeah, I was planning on like talking to you about this stuff, but you know, some things came up in my personal life, and
that's okay.
Yeah, I hadn't really a chance. I just thought, yeah, there were. I mean, is it really that explicit though? I don't think anything is really that explicit.
No, it's not that explicit. It looks like a little emoji sticker. Honestly, YouTube would think it's a carrot. Honestly,
I think it would be really funny to like read through some of that stuff. Honestly, because it does kind of show you how far people go.
So what I'm gonna do is I'm just pulling the screenshots now to prepare for this.
And I apologize for the background noise. It's just I have to be in a special spot right now. To, like,
are you a special spot? Are you holding someone hostage or something? What's going on?
I'm quarantining, dude. I talked to you about
that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
my special spot is okay. Not gonna reveal that. That's too much. Okay. All right. Let me finish getting these photos here, or the screenshots. I think I have them all. All right. Once I have them up, I guess you could walk me through them. Have you read them, or are we reading them together like brand new?
I think I remember reading them a long time ago, like just like in the mix of it. But I think it'd be better if you read them, and maybe I could comment a little if you want.
Okay.
I mean,
these are a lot of tabs. Okay,
it's a lot. So essentially, there's a certain person who is an infamous bully, a doxer.
Well, he definitely is a doxer now. I thought he used to not like doxing. Apparently, he's cool with it now.
He used to hate doxing. I kind of know what happened there, but his morals seem to change a little bit and really upset quite a few of us. And I kind of remember this like incident of him trying to organize a furry orgy, like a gangbang. It's like when you like work at GameStop, right? And you like work with like WoW people, right? Like World of Warcraft or whatever, World of Warcraft, whatever that fucking nerd shit is. And they all want to.
Oh,
like,
you never
dress
played World
up.
of Warcraft? You know what that is.
No, I know what it. I worked at GameStop, dude, and that's the reason I stopped playing fucking video games, dude. Like that's
Same
what
here.
happened to me.
Honestly, when I worked at GameStop, I didn't, or EB Games, I worked there.
You know, gang bang each other, and it was so disgusting. But yeah, so it was essentially like that, right? Like it was like, let's organize a furry convention. Let's all bang each other. You know, sexually interested, and I mean, it's some fucked up shit, dude.
Okay.
Like,
so yeah,
look at the
screenshot now. So these screenshots are him trying to organize a gangbang, a furry gangbang.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is not ironic. This is a legit furry gangbang.
Yes. Yeah. This was definitely not ironic. This was an actual meetup.
Yeah. Someone's like, this is gonna be
allegedly happened. It allegedly happened.
It happened.
Allegedly happened. So
where?
Yeah.
In where he lives in Norway?
He got vaccinated to go to this FurCon, and
in the States.
No, not in the States.
It wasn't one of those conventions that was busted for something notorious, was it?
No,
that would be.
It was no, but I mean, it's just, you know, trying to just like, you know, number one, being a vaccine cuck, just a fuck a fur. Like, it's just kind of beyond me, some of this stuff.
Well, he's European, so he's probably all about vaccines, right? So like he
right,
vaccine
like
as many times as possible.
They're free. Yeah.
So the next screenshot's the one. I wonder if YouTube is gonna be so like that looks like a blue carrot to me. I don't know what that is, YouTube. That's a blue carrot. I'm gonna move past that. Okay.
I'm calling in, so I don't even know which ones you're showing at the moment.
I'm showing the second one. It's the one where there's a wolf. With a blue dick thing, and he's like a blue carrot, I think, and ice cream's coming out of it.
Right.
And he's talking to somebody.
So I know that Axel had. Oh shoot, that's who we were talking about, right? Or did we not say that yet?
Repeat that again. I'm sorry. I was still reading this.
Yeah, we all know.
He calls it a barter system. What is the barter system? Like deep
So the
barter
system is like when you like do something in return for someone, right?
Yeah,
or you give something
Skyrim.
in return. You know that, but it's all in like really disgusting sexual favors, right? So it's you know, you shit for me, you fucking come in my face, like it's all started like
a favor for a favor sort of thing. Okay, most people, okay.
As it starts with like VR, right? So it doesn't start with VR, but it seems to like end in like virtual reality, right? So I know that Axel's definitely meeting up with a lot of these people that he's talking to in VR after, you know, the fur convention.
He asked, I'm gonna stop you real fast. He asked Voodoo for a picture of his butt.
Yeah.
For the new homo economy.
So Voodoo's he's a pretty prominent furry artist, I suppose. Or thinks
he told me about that. He tried to convince me to be cool with furries. He's like, yeah, man, I mean, furries are pretty big.
No, yeah, Voodoo is Axel's boyfriend. So Voodoo's the reason that the whole server died. He's the actual one who killed Elandrian by isolating him and making him suicidal and turning him against everyone. And Axel latched onto this person, and that's why the server ultimately imploded at the end.
Wow.
Because he picked Voodoo, this furry fucking pedo, over everyone. So
Wow, that is
Yeah. And I think a big point of contention was that Axel was going to go meet up, and allegedly did meet up at this fur con and have all of these furry orgies. And I think Voodoo was really jealous because Axel was fucking other people, probably. There was a big jealousy issue going on there.
And jealousy, man.
Yeah.
Whew.
Yeah.
Man.
And it got kind of nasty after that.
So Voodoo's scorned then.
He is.
Voodoo's a scorned lover, and well, he wasn't a cuck. He'd be a cuck if you banged him right in front of him, but he's a But
Axel basically said, "Sit in my voice chat while I go fuck other dudes," essentially. And I think it really, really upset
I don't know. I'm gonna
Voodoo.
Chat, this person we're talking about here, Axel. Okay, would Axel be a cuck? Would Axel be a cuck in this situation, or would he be? Would he be a? No. Voodoo would be the cuck. Voodoo would be the cuck in this situation.
Voodoo is the cuck. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I mean, Voodoo's still the cuck to this day. I mean, it's like Axel's trying to reach out to everyone, and poor Voodoo's just sitting there alone. It's
That's sad. I mean, there was a time where I liked Voodoo. I don't have anything against him. I don't have any beef.
Right.
And I don't think Axel's gonna see this. If he is, let me just say, I wish you well, and I honestly mean that. I'm not playing a character. This is my real voice. I wish you well. Like, if you are a homosexual furry, then embrace it. Stop with the irony thing. It's not ironic. We all see through it. Like, just embrace it. Just be it. Be you. Okay?
Yeah.
All right? I'm about healing and about helping people be true to themselves. Okay? All right. So the next screenshot, my roommate is educating me on bottom etiquette. What does he mean by that? Who's his roommate?
I wasn't sure at that point.
I thought he lived in a shed.
Allegedly. Not so sure on that. But bottom etiquette, I'm sure you can understand what that means. Like how to be a bottom and what to do.
Yeah.
In a situation like that, yeah.
Well, and there's this text is not translated. It's Norwegian or something. Du vet vor me in bottom matamed. And he says something about anal and laxatives, toys, cleaning toys, supplies, tarps.
Tarps, yeah.
Tarps.
So Axel also, like, he puts tarps on the ceiling of his house, like of his room. So that might have something to do with the tarps thing. Or, I mean, I think it might, like, help protect against, the splatter or something.
Yeah. Tarps help clean up the mess. I've seen Dexter.
It's, right? Like, Dexter style. Like, if you're going to make a big mess, like...
Yeah, it just makes sense. I mean, you already know you're going to have a big mess, and anal fucking will make big messes if you don't do it right. I mean, I guess. I mean, you're gonna. Usually those porn stars with those anal scenes, they usually have enemas, and they don't even eat that day. That's why you don't really see any shit.
No, exactly.
But
like you have to keep that shit clean, right? It's just
right. But that's not the whole God intended.
No, it's not, and
I mean,
I don't know what's going on, and I will say, like, I feel like Axel was my friend once, and I don't know what's happened to him. It's just it's like this whole idea of like just imprinting, right? It's just he thinks it's the cool thing to do, and it's what's going to get him friends and followers or make him feel loved and stuff. And it's like, that's not what it's about. Like, you don't have to like hang out with like furries and like zoophiles and people who fucking kill animals to like feel loved. I don't know where that comes from, but it does. I mean, I feel for him a lot because it's
we've been talking about.
His demise over the last year, particularly.
I see.
Just to see him, turn into this.
So you're not sure how he.
It's not ironic.
You liked him, but he was on this path and he became who he is now, and you don't like that. Could it be media influence?
Ironic.
Could it be Hollywood?
Now he's so entrenched in it, and I don't think it's ironic anymore. And I used to think it was, and the more I talk to this person, the more he spams chats, the more, we talk about these things. It's like, I miss my friend, I want him to not be
you
like.
You want your friend back.
I want my friend back. And I'm so sick of, and a lot of people do. And he didn't used to be like this. And I'm kind of worried about him a little bit. I really am.
I'll say something too, and I mean this. There was a part of me that actually, there was a part of me that actually liked Axel, not some homo way or whatever. Was it last year? No, I think in December. I sent him a message. It was like, I think you're an alright guy. I mean, you're silly. I wouldn't trust you with my kids, but I think you're okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I think Axel's a really good dude. I just think he's really. This is kind of why I was talking to you about it, right? It was you see people just they just change, right? There's the whole haha, I'm a pet. Everyone says that they're a pedophile or they're convicted being a pedophile on the internet, right? It's such a nothing most of the time, but with the furry stuff, it was I didn't want to believe it, I guess. And then we just saw, and then when we saw that he was completely entrenched in one particular furry that completely destroyed our fucking server, then you start realizing, this isn't a joke anymore. You tore a whole community apart over one fucking furry who is a terrible person, who everyone fucking hates, and who likes to just drink and drive and fucking kill animals and kill Elandrian and be subversive. And it's a total mind fuck, dude. I don't think Axel ever met, it was ironic at one point, but I really do think he's, trapped with this one person in particular.
Not to interrupt you real fast. I know you're in a thought. Right now I'm looking at a screenshot where Axel posted an image of a message of a conversation. I'm not sure who he's talking to. It's hey, evening. At NFC, I need to come down your throat. That is very specific. With me wearing my harness or without? With your harness on. I need you to swallow every drop. It wouldn't be a waste. It would be a waste otherwise. So, I mean, that's... Okay. And he says, take notes, children. This is a different guy, by the way.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Look.
Well, I mean, what do you do about that? Right?
Well, just come out of the closet.
What I would say is that, the furry community is, extremely manipulative. And that's something that I've seen.
That's something we learned here today. Going through the origins.
Yeah, it's so fucking manipulative, dude. They latch onto people and they just drag them down into their bullshit. And it's just become, just nothing but I mean, I'm not going to talk about, certain things, but it's I'm sure we've seen Axel go against certain moral codes that, a lot of people didn't think he would do. And I think a lot of it has to do is that he is being manipulated one particular furry in this instance, and it's the same furry that killed someone else that we knew.
So that conversation that he posted, was that between him and Voodoo?
Which one?
The
one you just read.
It was a screenshot of a conversation. I don't know who's talking.
So I have to know the screen name. I mean, I can't.
The screen name is like screenshot 20. The last 210224.
Oh my god, I don't know which one that was. Jesus, who said it to him? Just say it. Who said it?
Oh no, Axel posted it. He posted it. It's on the December 28th, 2021. In the background, it's like some pine trees.
Maybe
it's
because I can't see. Like I said, I'm just calling in. Like I can't see. But the chat probably
need to know specifics. I think that'd be a little too weird, I guess. Yeah, crazy. But I see here, even these screenshots, even people, I guess in this Discord, hearing about this, they were asking, Axel, what are you thinking? Like in this thread I'm looking at, he's like, look, he says my roommate so Axel says my roommate wants to get double penetrated, and someone named Dig You Slurpee, it's like 2 dicks 1 hole or spit roasting scenario. Axel responds 2 dicks 1 hole, and Rob Limbor says it's over, and someone else, older Z, I don't know who these people are. It says like imagine your past self 2 to 3 years ago seeing yourself now, Axel. So look, like I said, guys, I gotta preface this. We just got done with the Brat Wars between me and Daimo. I'm done with that.
Do you think
I want healing here?
Yeah, I mean that's what I want, dude. Like all this has like torn like communities apart, man, and it's shitty. But what do you do? I mean,
well, what we could do is if we could actually honestly have an honest conversation, you know?
Well, I do know Alex does want to talk. I mean, but I mean, he has to actually be willing to like have an honest conversation, and I feel like he's, I don't know, dude. Like, I'm worried for someone that I used to consider a friend, and a lot of people did. What do you do when it's so subversive that it turns someone from like an ironic furry into an actual furry who sides with a murderous furry and a like an animal killing furry? Like, what do you even do in that situation? Like, how do you have that person's back? And when they become like so jaded and malicious that they become like a doxer? Like, who does that, dude? This is all fun, and it's the internet, and it's just, I'm so sick, and so many people are sick about some of the stuff that has been going on, and that's what it does to you. That's the end game for people like that. So, I don't know.
Voodoo's in the chat now, says you're anything but honest. But I don't know. I mean, you've been pretty honest with me so far, but I'm not making any judgments here. Like you know, if
Voodoo did kill a dog. Voodoo did kill a Landrian.
Okay.
Voodoo also did subvert people so much that Axel lost his server, and they're mine now. That's the problem.
So what would you say? What would you say to Voodoo? Like, is do you think Voodoo is beyond being redeemed?
I've always I will tell you my relationship with Voodoo. I've always been nice to Voodoo. Even just like a few days ago, I said, Voodoo, I really like this. Like, he did like a really cool fucking art piece of like his own, you know, his own fursona or whatever, and I thought it was pretty wicked. And I was like, that's cool. fuck you, Shalyn, you piece of, like, he doesn't give, like, he's always been mean to me. It doesn't matter what I say to him. Doesn't matter how many times I let him into my server. Doesn't matter how many times I try to, like, listen to him. It doesn't matter. He's, like, actually an insane person. So, what I would say to Voodoo is, Voodoo, fuck you. You killed Al, not me, not Ferd, not anyone else, not even Axel. You're a piece of shit. And you stole Axel from us and turned him into a fucking furry, unironically. So fuck you. No more drunk driving and killing dogs. That's what I would say to fucking Voodoo. Fuck him.
Okay.
I tried for years. I tried to be nice to this person.
Now I'm hearing about this stuff. Like, are there screenshots and stuff to show that he did these things?
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, probably not right now, but I'm sure
Right.
other people could probably, or I can just harvest them. Like, yeah, those exist. That happened. Yeah. This was like what? Like, not even like around Christmas? Yeah.
Around this Christmas or last Christmas?
Oh, when he killed the dog? Yeah. But we forgave him for that, I suppose. But what we don't forgive him for are certain things. Like turning Axel into a monster who doxes people, just like Voodoo does. Voodoo threatens people's jobs. Voodoo threatens to dox your book collection. Voodoo does all that stuff. And now all of a sudden Axel's doing that to people who did nothing but love and support.
I mean, Voodoo's in the chat now. I don't want to do any sort of internet blood sport thing, okay? But you
we don't have to do blood sports, but if you want to talk to Voodoo, like I don't mind. I do not mind jumping off anyways. But I will say, like, Voodoo, there's so much contention, dude. And if Voodoo wants to defend himself, he probably should at this point, because we've all tried. We've all tried, dude. And we see what he's doing. He's a fucking monster. And he did the same shit to Al that he's doing with Axel right now. Isolating him, making him feel like we're all out to get him. It's sick and sad and twisted, right? Sick, sad worlds, right?
Well,
it happens. And that is the end game of Furdom, dude. That's what happens.
The end game of Furdom.
Yeah.
Yeah. Really, this was brought up to talk about Axel as an example of what happens if exposed to too much furry media, furry content. You know, it could have been anime too. I mean, the origins of furrydom. Like, I was surprised that Japan had involvement in that.
It was Voodoo. It wasn't anime. It was Voodoo.
It was Voodoo?
So, yep. 100%. And if he wants to defend himself on that and say this is any different than what we saw happen with Al and isolation, then he can go ahead and do that.
Well, man. Well, thank you for coming on to talk about Axel here to bring this stuff up. I guess you did say some things about Voodoo. He can't defend himself right now, you know.
I mean,
but so what I'll say for those listening to, you know, I'm in the middle here, but it's like, okay, I hear what you said so far. You haven't said anything to me that was a lie so far, you know. So you know, take you at your word, but at the same time, like, I don't know if it's necessarily, you know, valid or not. I don't know the validity of all of what you said. So maybe later on, if you show me some stuff, I'll be more confident in that. It's but you've been straightforward with me, okay. And the last thing I want to say too to Axel, in case he's watching, like, dude, no ill will. I know you probably don't like this, okay. I didn't like being doxxed on your stream. The what I do for a living was one thing, but you know, my wife's name and all that was not cool. But it's not some tit for tat thing. Like, I honestly want you, or would like you, to, I guess, be more open about your homosexuality. I mean, if you are a furry, if you are into that stuff, just be open, man. Just be true to yourself. Don't lie to yourself. That's it. You can still call me Mr. Pegged Man or whatever. Okay. Anyway. All right. So I thought this was a pretty good stream. Check your Discord DMs. Check my Discord DMs? Cool. Well, yeah. I'll go ahead and wrap this up now. Y'all take it easy. Have a good one.